Hello, everyone. Before we get really started, there's a friend here who wrote a jingle for this open diner. Um, so we want to hear him play, and it's really a nice jingle. So go ahead, John, do your jingle, please.
You have to unmute yourself.
Yeah, you have to unmute, John.
Can you hear me now? Sorry, technical difficulties. I'm a musician, not an engineer. Open diner, welcome you. Come on in, see what's new. 'Cause we're one. We're having fun. Open diner, welcome you. And you too. 'Cause we're one. Yeah, we're having fun. Diner, look at you. Come on in, see what's new today. Yeah. Diner. Diner. Thank you, guys.
Thanks so much, John. That's great. Okay, so welcome everyone. Welcome everyone who's on Facebook, and welcome to anybody that's new here on Zoom with us. Tonight we're going to be talking about evolving from the crisis, evolving from crisis. And what does it mean, evolving? Are our thoughts evolving, our attitudes, our desires? I think this is what is evolving. And how has this crisis affected us? What are we going to be going out there in the world with? What is our new, how have we evolved, right? And so this is what we're going to be talking about tonight. And we also added some table etiquette to the discussion. So it's just to bring a good flow and balance to our conversation. So the co-host with me tonight is Sarah, or not the co-host, she's the host with me tonight. We're both hosts. And so that's it. So let's have a good time. Have your, I hope you have something good to eat, something good to drink. We're going to hear music and have some good workshops. So before we get started, and to warm us up here, we're going to have Christian, who's going to give us a song. Christian, please.
All right, guys. I hope you can hear me well. Can you? Good. My internet's been spotty today, so I apologize in advance if it's sounding weird. All right. Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try. No hell below us. Above us on the sky. Imagine all the people living for today. Imagine there's no countries. It isn't hard to do. Nothing to kill or die for. And no religion too. Imagine all the people living life in peace. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live at once. Imagine no possessions. I wonder if you can. No need for greed or hunger. A brotherhood of man. Imagine all the people, yeah, sharing all the world. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live as one. You may say I'm a dreamer, but I'm not the only one. I hope someday you will join us and the world will live as one.
Thank you, Chris. It's such a pleasure to be with everybody tonight. And we're going to start with a little icebreaker. So I have a pretty red dice here, and I'm going to roll it. And I'm going to call on somebody, and I'm going to ask you a question. And then you're going to answer the question to the best of your ability. Just from your heart, just answer the first thing that comes to your mind. And then you're going to call on somebody else on the call, and I will roll the dice again, and I will ask that person a question, and we'll keep going. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, number one. So I'm going to ask, let's see, Roberta. So Roberta, the question for you is, what is your go-to song when you're upset?
Imagine. Can you imagine that? He just played it. No, my go-to song is probably maybe oh geez, this is really on the spot. I don't know, an upbeat song, maybe by, some disco song. I can't think of one right now, but just picture like an upbeat song that you hear at a wedding, something like that.
Staying Alive?
No, yeah, that one's good. So now I have to pick somebody?
Yep.
Okay, so I will pick, let's see here. How about, I'm so sorry, I have a delay. How about Paula?
Paula, okay.
Sure.
Number two, wait, I've got a new question for you, Paula. So
Okay.
your question is, what's your favorite comfort food?
I would definitely be pizza, for sure. Pizza all
That's
the
a
way.
good one. Can you call on somebody else?
Sure. How about Lucian?
Okay. Lucian, number 6. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
That's a really good question. It has to be in the world, right? It can't be another planet. Let's see. I would go to, there's a place called I think Galapagos Islands, where they found a lot of weird looking creatures, and I love animals, so it'd be really cool to go there. Galapagos Islands.
Nice.
Do I call on someone?
Call on somebody else.
Okay. Let's see. I'm on my phone, so Natalia from Chicago.
Okay, Natalia. I'm trying to get new questions here. Natalia, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
My superpower would be calm people down and to make people love each other.
Very nice. Who do you want to choose?
I want to choose Pamela.
Okay, Pamela, by default, I'm just going to place the die on number 3. If you had all the money in the world, how would you spend it?
If I had all the money in the world, I guess I'm going to make up my own rules and say that I would have enough money to give to everybody in the world so that everybody could have a good life. So that's what I would do. If I had all the money in the world, I would give all my money in the world to all the people in the world, and we could all hopefully use it.
That's pretty good. Can you choose somebody else? I think somebody maybe is not muted. Can you choose somebody else?
Sure, I'm going to choose Frank.
Okay, Frank, I've got another one for you. Now we're repeating some of the questions. What is your go-to song when you're upset? Frank?
Hello?
We hear you.
What is your question, please?
It is, what is your go-to song when you're upset?
My go-to?
Mm-hmm.
What do you mean by that?
It's like, if you're upset, what song do you play? Do you have a certain song that you play to lift your mood?
No sign.
Song.
Nothing special, no.
No?
You have a
nothing special.
favorite song?
Oh, by the way, I will just report to the group, you'll have to excuse me because at 7 o'clock I have to leave. I'm on the board of the Shore Walkers, a New York hiking group. So I have to attend the Zoom meeting at 7. So please excuse me. We hope to start walking again by July 1 in New York. And I'll keep you informed on that.
Good luck, Frank.
Pardon me?
Okay. I said, good luck. Can you choose
Thank
somebody
you.
else?
Pardon me?
Can you choose somebody else?
Can I do what?
Can you choose somebody else? I'll choose somebody for you. How about
Okay.
Gary?
Oh, I can wait. I can just a minute. I can do it.
Okay,
Gary,
great.
Okay. Aviva, maybe.
Okay, Aviva, what is your go-to song when you're upset?
You've got a friend.
Oh, that's such a good one. Who do you want to call on, Aviva?
Rono.
Okay, Rono, if you could give a present to someone here, what would it be and why?
Wow. That would be the gift of permanent happiness. Why? Because it gives you a good view on everything else. And
you
I
call
would
on
pick
somebody else?
John.
John. John, if you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I would like to be able to fly. And I would pick Elisa.
Alisa. Alisa, what's your go-to song when you're upset?
Oh my goodness, I'm blanking completely. No, but any Beatles song will do with me. Any, and any song of Deep Purple, will do with me as well. And I have to choose somebody, right?
Yep.
We still have time. So how about Nina?
Nina. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Wow. Well, someone already said being able to fly. Maybe maybe just a superpower where I could make someone happy on demand, just like this, and bring happiness. I don't know. Should I choose someone?
Choose someone. Yeah, I think we have time for a couple more.
Did Betsy speak yet?
I don't
Betsy.
think so. Okay, Betsy, if you could give a present to someone here, what would it be and why?
I would give them a bottle of really nice champagne to toast us all and welcome us and make us feel friendly and welcome. Do I get to choose somebody?
Yep.
Alana, have you spoken yet?
Not yet. Hi, everyone.
Alana.
Yes.
If you could go anywhere in the world, where would you go?
That's actually a very good question for me, especially now. I would go to Israel. I have everyone absolutely there except me, all my big family, and with Corona and everything's happening, I am not able to go already for a while. So that would be my dream now come true. And I would choose, who didn't speak? Gary.
Gary, what's your favorite comfort food?
Oh, I would have to say this one's already been taken. It's only the second time and it's the same thing. It'd be pizza. Pizza and ice cream.
Can you choose somebody?
Yes, Nancy.
Nancy. If you could go anywhere in the world, where would it be?
Okay. I would go to an island where there was no religion, no laugh, just hi, I'm Nancy. You are John, you are so-and-so, and that's it. No religion, absolutely none. And it would just be nice weather and everybody would, there would be a lot of art and we would be painting and drawing and just enjoying each other. That's where I would go. No religion, no anything. I would love that. But aside from that, I think I'd go back to Holland and see everybody. And now I pick, all right, who hasn't gone yet? Let me see. All these things. How about, Nina, have you gone? Can anybody?
I went. Yeah.
You went?
I went already, but thank you.
Christian? Christian, have you gone? Is he on mute? Am I on mute? No.
No, we hear you.
Not available.
Oh, all right. So, Tim, you look available.
I think Eva hasn't spoken.
Okay, Eva, let's go.
Okay, Eva, if you could give a present to somebody here, what would you give them and why?
It was happiness, right? Verona said happiness. And if I can give love to everyone for the same reason, for happiness. That would be amazing. Are we still playing?
I think we've exhausted it unless Carl wants to answer. Carl,
Go
you
ahead.
ready to answer? You ready to answer a question?
Go ahead.
Okay. If you had all the money in the world, how would you spend it?
Do I have to spend it?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna
I
do?
would burn it. I would burn it all. No. Realistically,
That was my answer too.
yeah, you would burn it. I would spend it on an organization that was dedicated to bringing people together for the sake of caring for each other, caring for one another, and loving each other. Yep.
I hope you win the lottery, Carl. Do you want to introduce the video?
Sure. Yeah, there's a video. Friends, hey, there's a video.
It's so simple, but we make it so difficult. And it's these hard things, these challenges, these horrible things we see are there to urge us to be better than we are. And I think until we start seeing that, they will continue, no matter on all levels.
We look at our economic crisis, we look at our ecological crisis, we look at our spiritual crisis, and we say, I'm not happy, society's not happy, what's wrong with us? So that is the trigger. We have to have problems to have solutions. Problems create creativity. There's no such thing as a problem. A problem is essentially a transition. So I see the crises of today as a transition point for humanity. I see them as not necessarily something that's out of the ordinary.
Again and again in nature, from the very most ancient bacteria to more recent species, they go through a juvenile phase of hostile competition to establish themselves. And then they discover the economics of cooperation. And when they find that it is cheaper and more efficient and more beneficial for everyone to feed your enemy rather than fighting them, then we are on the way to the new civilization we're all looking for.
The wonderful part about nature being fractal is that we can use patterns in nature to understand other patterns that exist because patterns repeat themselves. So now if you want to look at a pattern that's playing itself out on this planet right now that would give us insight about what is going on. So I say, look inside a caterpillar that's growing. And a caterpillar represents, let's say, 7 billion cells living under the same skin. Each cell is a citizen. And guess what? They're like people like us. They're working every day. Cells in the digestive system are taking the food and breaking it down and making products out of it. Some cells are the motility cells. Those are the cells that move the caterpillar around. The structures of like our highways with trucks and vehicles carrying materials all over the place, something like that. Cells of the immune system are taking their job of protecting the system. Respiration system is making sure fresh oxygen is being delivered. So all the cells have jobs. The caterpillar's growing. If you were in there and a reporter, you look around going, yeah, the economy is going great guns. It's growing every day. Everybody's working, full employment. This is the kind of thing we love to see. How much are we growing every day? Some percent every day. And then the caterpillar reaches a certain stage of growth. And at that stage of growth, it just stops eating. It can't take in anymore at this point. It's reaching a maximum size. Then if you're a cell inside that community, imagine what would happen. That you're on the job and all of a sudden there's less food coming in and you're a digestive cell and you say, well, man, the work is slowing down here. The factory is slowing down. Then all of a sudden it gets to such a low level that many cells get laid off of the job. Now their cell's not working. Why? There's not enough food coming in to keep them all working. And as the food shuts down, then the other jobs are affected, because if there's no food, then there's no energy, and all the systems start laying off cells. And pretty soon, there's massive chaos under the skin of a caterpillar. Why? The systems stop growing, the cells are out of work, nothing is evolving, and the thing is falling apart. If you were a cell in that caterpillar body at that time, you would look around and say, oh my God, our world is coming to an end. And yet, in the midst of those billions of cells,
in among them are other cells genetically identical to them, no different. But they think differently. They respond to the signals differently.
These cells have the interesting name called imaginal cells. And these imaginal cells come up with new visions. And what happens is, in the midst of all this chaos, when all the other cells are running around thinking the end of the world is coming, the new imaginal cells are laying out new ideas, new visions, a new plan, a new scheme, a new way of life. And around these ideas, the cells reorganize and they start to create new massive organizations to create something much more fabulous than the previous system. A system that is much more sustainable, a system with a higher level of evolution. And that system they're constructing called the butterfly. So there's a transition from an old world of caterpillar with an old belief system and an old way of life that was no longer sustainable.
And therefore, you have two choices in this world right now. You can retain your caterpillar status and go, oh my God, the sky is falling, and be in fear. Or you can say, the caterpillar is going, I want to build the butterfly. Why? Because if I become active and, positive in the process of building the butterfly, I'm engaged, I'm working, we're creating the future. If I sit there and bemoan the loss of the caterpillar, then I'm making myself sick and everything around me. Why? I'm not contributing to our evolution. And so, where are we? We're at the demise of the caterpillar stage of civilization and the rise of the butterfly.
What we have to recognize is that all this crisis, etc., is not outside of consciousness. Mm-hmm. It is also inside of consciousness. Mm-hmm. There is a plan to this madness. Mm-hmm. If we look at biological evolution, all big evolution is preceded by a catastrophe. So this is evolution of the human being that is going on right now. From being overly concerned with the negative emotions and the rational mind to listen to the values, love, beauty, justice, truth, goodness. We need to hear that. But how do we hear that without the pangs of suffering?
Oh, I just love that. Okay, so we're going to go into our roundtable now, and we just want to say a couple of, let's call them agreements that we make, right? So what we're trying to do in the roundtable is we're trying to create an atmosphere of support and warmth, and there we go, beautiful. So the three agreements, let's say, are, aside from the obvious, which are, we don't negate anybody, right? We're trying to add and we're trying to draw like a full picture together, right? So the first agreement is that everybody is equal and very important. The second agreement is that we go around the table and everybody speaks briefly and to please stay on topic. And the third is that we're trying to actively listen, right? So we're so used to speaking and passively listen, or maybe not even listen at all. But in this, it's like the most important thing you can do is listen, because that's how we take in one another. So those are our three agreements, and let's get started. Carl, do you want to ask us our first question?
Sure. And this is where that listening part takes place, because after you hear this question, and everyone who answers, we have to listen to their answer, because Sarah's going to take us into the second part of the workshop where you have to talk about what you heard from the other people. All right. So the first question is, if you could do one thing for the betterment of society, what would it be? If you could do one thing for the betterment of society, what would it be? So I'm going to call on somebody, and after you're done answering, you can call on somebody else. All right. How about Paula?
Sure. I guess probably for me, the most important thing to better society would be to end poverty and just make sure everybody has everything they need and doesn't want for anything.
Go ahead and choose somebody, Paula.
Hey, how about Nancy?
You're muted, Nancy.
To make a better society, I would remove religion. And because I think it's too divisive. And I wish I could change color skins. And that's so incorrect. Since we can't change people's colored skins and make us all just be human, I would take away religion because it's too divisive. And put in Zen Buddhism. Yeah. Yeah, the Japanese form of Buddhism. I like the Zen.
Thank you. Can you choose somebody, Nancy?
Sure. Let me put everybody's names here. Tim, are you around there? Is that just a picture of him? It's just a picture? So there is no Tim.
No,
Okay.
I'm here.
He's there. He's ready to talk.
I'm here, sorry.
There you go.
Taking care of baby girl.
I see. All right. I would like to call on you. And the question is the same. If you could make society a better society, what would you do? Is that correct? That's cool.
If I could make society a better society, what would I do? I don't know. I think it's it's interesting because it's an interesting question because it's so in flux, isn't it? That society, the whole of the world is in flux, and really, it's obvious to say that if I ruled the world, I would. I don't know what I would do. I mean, it's human nature rules the world, isn't it? I mean, I guess if I ruled the world, there would be a lot more media out there to do with love. I think that's it. There would be a lot more opportunity for people to tune in to the message of love and understanding and caring than there is right now. I think that to be reasonable about it, to give people the opportunity and the choice, because I think that's really what matters. So as difficult and as hard as it seems, especially at the moment, I think, all we need to do is just give society a little bit more education, a little bit more aspiration, a little bit more of inspiration. And I think that's what I would do. And I shall choose let's see, I'm on my phone, I'm just flicking through. Rono.
Thank you for the vote. I think I would tell, stories about understanding and connection. If you look at entertainment today, the stories are just graphically violence for no reason, other than, we're bored and we want more excitement. And the human race is just dwindling into beastliness, and that's not cool. I chose Betsy.
Thank you, Rono. Hi. I have, yes, a very strong opinion that if we're trying to make society a better society, I would have people like monthly have their time that they would have to go out and pick up, like, clean up the environment. I would require people to get out there and clean up, go to the shores and clean up, and it would just be such a happier place, I think, if we had a cleaner environment, especially in New York. I mean, you travel from other places and come back to New York, and it's not clean. And I think everyone should be responsible. It really pained me the other day. I was in Bayside and I saw somebody throw a bottle, and like, how do you do that in this day and age? So that's what I would do, is I would require people to do their time and pick up trash and litter. Okay. And I choose Aviva.
Thank you. I would choose for people to forget what weapons are about, what armies are about, what military is about, everything. They would look at it as if it's some weird thing and do without. And I choose Ava.
Thank you, Aviva. What I would do, if it will be in my power, I would love to give humanity the possibility to understand how all of us are interconnected. And by hurting someone else, I'm hurting myself. By helping someone else, I'm helping myself. And that the humanity is truly just one. It's just one living organism that's harming itself constantly. And I would really like to stop that. Thank you. Oh, and Carl.
Okay, so I'm going to stop you right there. Carl, we're now going to go to the second question, which is choose someone else's answer and then tell us what would be your first step to implement it. So Carl, can you start and then call on somebody?
Man,
Again, choose somebody else's answer and tell us what the first step is that you take to implement it.
that was perfect. Okay, so it's easy too. So in Tim's answer, he said something about education. And my answer to the first part of the question would be that first I learn what the problem is, learn what I can do actually to make a difference. So yeah, that's it. I think I would learn. I would pick the education. Christian, Roberta?
Thank you. I actually, for some reason, it resonated with Betsy said. about how people should be cleaning that. It always drove me crazy. I've seen it where people throw stuff out the window. I'm like, would you do that in your house? But I guess they would in some way. And to implement that, I think that, getting together with community and being close with friends and neighbors, not that you have to pick up garbage, but it encompasses the whole fact of caring about the society you're in, the community you're in, the friends you're with. And it spills over to even, just being close with your community and the people around you. When like you had the etiquette thing that you posted before this, it encompasses that too. And, if we respect everybody's space, this world would be a much better place. Even just small things, letting people speak, or letting somebody go when you're driving, and, not littering. And we could make a big difference if we do small things ourselves. And what Betsy said, it triggers different angles. And thank you for that. But we could all do something on every angle. So I will pick somebody, and I will pick Pamela. I don't think she spoke yet. Please.
I was looking at the list, and I can't remember whose contribution it was, but they said no poverty. So of course I liken back to one of my first questions is, if I had all the money in the world, I could easily solve that problem. But yeah, it's I think the world would be such a different place if you could somehow figure out that problem, that worldwide problem, our nation, all nations. So I often think about it. I don't know what the right answer is, except for if everyone could, just do more service, like individually, like pick something they like to help out your fellow, human, and then perhaps start that way. If everyone did something small, I think collectively it could be a huge, effort and create real goodwill. Do I have to pick someone? Okay, I pick Phyllis. Or no, Frank. Is that Frank saying goodbye?
No, thank you for noticing.
Oh, Phyllis.
Thank you. Well, the lady that has had it with religion, I can really identify with that. And what I would do is try to find how to teach the laws of nature. I don't know if it would be Native Americans. I don't know who it would be, but the laws of nature make so much sense. I think humans really need to look into that. And the consistency they offer, just the common sense is just beautiful. So I would really like to search that more. So I have to choose someone. Let's see, someone that hasn't talked. I can't see people. That man that played the guitar, did he talk? Not
That's
Chris,
John.
the other
John.
guy. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Hey, glad you remembered me one way or another. I agree with you for eliminating religion. 1,000% on board with that. And the way I would implement it, though, and I would just basically eliminate all religions on the planet. And I would just get every single human being to grasp this one mantra. And we would celebrate it, and we would salute it every day, multiple times a day. And it would be, love thy neighbor as thyself. And I think if we could actually pull that off, that's really the secret to connection, and the secret that everyone agrees with is the word love. And love is the perfect word, but we need to love the other and not ourselves. Love our neighbor as ourselves. And Gary?
We're actually gonna end the roundtable here, and we're going to go to Chris for another live song.
All right, guys, you can hear me all right? Can you hear me well?
Giant steps are what you take, walking on the moon. I hope my legs don't break, walking on the moon. We could walk forever, walking on the moon. We could live together, yeah, walking on the moon. Walking back from your house, walking on the moon. Walking back from your house, walking on the moon. Feet that hardly touch the ground, yeah, walking on the moon. My feet don't hardly make no sound, walking on the moon. Some may say, wishing my days away. No way, if it's the price I pay. Some say, tomorrow's another day. You stay, I may as well play. Giant steps are what you take, walking on the moon. I hope my legs don't break, walking on the moon. We could walk forever, walking on the moon. We could live forever, walking on the moon. Some may say, I'm wishing my days away. No way. And if it's the price I pay, some say, who's another day to stay? I may as well play. Keep it up, keep it up. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, whoa, 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 whoa. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo, 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 yo. Yo.
Yeah. I haven't heard that song forever. That's a cool song. Thanks, Christian. Okay. Hope everybody's bellies are full and ears are full and hearts are full. So that video that we watched about the caterpillar and the imaginary cells, I thought that was really neat. And I was thinking about like what it means to be an imaginary cell. Like if we are imaginary cells, like if we take on that role. And I think that we are, like, even being here at this open diner, we're doing something productive together. And the questions that we're answering, it's making us think, like, the imaginary selves. So this is a time when you can give your impression about tonight, and anything you'd like to share about tonight, please. And have your drinks. Cheers. Thank you. Anyone?
Well, it was my first time here, and I had such a good time. I felt so at home with you guys, as if I knew you. It was really great. I would like to come to this open diner every week. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to say that I wish we had more time that everybody could express what would they do if they had a choice, at least one thing to, make society better. I wish we will continue, and if we can continue here, we can continue imagine, and we will contribute to this to make society better.
The video we watched tonight reminded me of this famous quote. I believe it's by Richard Bach, that says, "What the caterpillar calls the end of the world, the master calls a butterfly." And it really feels like we're at that point right now in humanity where we're about to become a butterfly. So we shouldn't look to go back to being a caterpillar. And this hour today just flew by. It was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed seeing everyone. So looking forward to next week. Thank you for this time together. I really enjoyed all of your input and the questions, and I really enjoyed it. And as well, I'm looking forward to next week. Thank you.
So Sarah, if you want to, I don't know if there's anybody from Facebook.
Wait,
but
can I?
Yeah, for sure. Yes.
My whole computer screen went black, and I don't know what to do. I was on the meeting with you guys. Is anybody technologically advanced? Oh God.
We can see you well and hear you well.
I'm on my phone.
Oh, we get wonderfully.
Maybe you're maybe the like the light went down, the brightness, is that possible?
Well, I'm trying to push, like, I don't know, is the brightness is just, I don't know what, I'm trying everything, and it now the keyboard is on, the light is on, but oh God.
Is this from your phone?
No, I'm on my phone.
Okay, so it could be if you go in, if you're walking and you go from a strong signal to a weak signal, that could be it.
No, but the phone is cool. It's the computer.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It's the battery connected. You need to charge it, maybe.
Well, that it is charging.
We heard you, and I think you heard us most of the time. So it's really good. Next time, maybe you'll have that figured out. But
well, does anybody
you were with us.
I know, but before you guys all split, is there anybody who can help me? I have a MacBook Air, and I don't know.
Try restarting, Nancy. Do you know how to restart your computer?
Yeah, I did. I think I better call Mac. Oh, fuck. I don't know what to do. Call Apple Repair. Is that what I should do?
Probably, yes, I think. For with Apple, it's best to call Apple. They know.
Yeah, and then you probably have Apple Care. So they will be happy to join you, to help you.
All right. Oh, you guys, honestly, it's one thing after another. All right. I think I better go read some of that Zen I'm so fond of, and Pima Chadron while I'm at it.
Do you have a pen and paper? I can give you the telephone number for the Apple help desk.
I know them, Apple Repair. They are so cool. I love those guys. Yeah, I'm gonna now. I want my dinner. All right, you guys. Listen
Thank you,
to
everybody.
my
Bye.
go-to song.
So maybe you should have dinner first and then call them.
Right, I know. Oh God, I'm mad. All right. Hey, you guys, I love this thing. All right. Well,
Thank you.
take care,
So
you
next,
guys.
yeah, next Thursday.
Send technological savvy my way, baby. Just send it here. All right.
You got it. You got it.
All that energy. Okay. All right. Take
Thank
care.
you, everyone. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
Thanks for having me.
Next week. Thank you, everybody. This is wonderful.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Amazing.
See you next week.
See
Bye.
you next
Thank
week.
you.
Bye-bye.
It was lovely.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.